Job interviews. Some go well, some don't go that well. But if you've ever been a responsible 14-year-old like myself, just trying to prove themselves within society's working class, then you've probably had a job interview before. For those who haven't, there are a few things you should probably know before you go in for one. But hang on a second. Before you can go to a job interview, you still need to do one important thing. Get a job interview. Now, as I see it, there are two ways to go about getting an interview. You could either start browsing an online job site and send in your resume digitally, or you can print out a bunch of paper copies of your resume, get on your bike, and spend the rest of the afternoon trudging through a pond in reckless pursuit of your resumes that just so happened to have fallen out of your hands because you saw a blue jay and misjudged an oncoming railroad track. Not that it happened to me, I'm just trying to show you what could go wrong. Hypothetically, of course. Because I don't get to look, a blue jay. What was I talking about again? Alright, I was just about to tell you why I biked around half the town, handing in my resumes to any place I thought I might want to work at. You can trust me when I say not many places wanted to hire a 14-year-old teenager such as myself, so I did get rejected a lot more than what I'd like to admit to. In my defense though, there's a lot of labor laws that limit what a 14-year-old could actually do in the workplace. For example, I couldn't operate a screwdriver until I turned 15. I mean, seriously though, what makes a screwdriver so dangerous that one must be of 15 years to use? One of the places I applied for did actually get back to me. It was in the form of an email because I didn't actually have my own phone at the time. And now that I think about it, that may have also been a contributing factor to the lack of responses my resume has received. I was excited, but also extremely nervous for my first interview. So I decided that in order to get over my nerves, I should do some preparation. I found the most commonly used questions at job interviews and researched what the best responses to them were. I then proceeded to add them to memory, just in case the questions were raised during the interview. So Andrew, why should I hire you? No way, Andrew, you studied this one. This is one of the most important questions in an interview. Remember what you wrote down, and be sure to say it like you mean it. Are you okay? Say something. Jeez. So it's quite obvious I didn't get the job. I forgot nearly all the lines that I had memorized prior to the interview, so everything I said sounded extremely cheesy. Winter rolls around and I'm still an unemployed 14-year-old in search of a job when I see a paper on my school's job board. Our local ski hill was hiring and they were willing to take in a 14-year-old. That was me, so I put in my resume and I had a job interview before I knew it. Now of course I was nervous, but I had learned from my previous interview. I was just gonna go in as myself. I was feeling a lot more confident this time. I had been in a job interview before. It may not have turned out as I had hoped, but it's experience nevertheless. The day of the interview comes and I'm still feeling the nerve, but something was different this time. I wanted the job, and I was going to go in and prove to them why it should be me. That's what was going on inside my head anyways. I opened the door to a giant lightly lit room. There was one table in the middle with a couple chairs. If I hadn't known better, I would have thought I was about to get interrogated. From the looks of it, I wasn't the only one who was being interviewed today. There were multiple water bottles on the table, and since the number of water bottles outnumbered the chairs, there must be some more coming. Unless of course one refused. As I was applying my Sherlock observation skills, the manager walked in. I extended my hand for a handshake and the interview was underway. It was so much easier to talk to someone when you're just being yourself, and even though it was an interview, it didn't really feel like one. Do you think I could have a turn?